If you watch my video about who will get the biggest FIFA upgrades, then this was the natural follow-up. Who's getting the biggest downgrades in FC26? Let's find out, with one for each Premier League club. Remember, players who just transferred in or out aren't eligible. Arsenal, Martin Odegaard, 89 to 87. Arsenal start with a big one, as their highest rated player and captain gets knocked down. There are other culprits here, with Gabriel Jesus surely getting a reduction, and Raheem Sterling won't retain his 81 but was only in North London on loan. Odegaard was ridiculous in both the 22-23 and 23-24 seasons, being Arsenal Player of the Year in both, and having the most chances created from open play in the Premier League in the latter. This time round, Odegaard missed the opening 2 months with an ankle sprain, and when he came back, he didn't look his usual self, scoring just 6 goals for the Gunners all season, the least since 2021, where he spent the first half with very limited minutes for Real Madrid before he went to Arsenal on loan, pending a permanent transfer. He is still a key player and captain for both Arsenal and Norway, and received a number of promo cards. He got a Globetrotters card for his flexibility, having played in his native Norway, Spain with Real Madrid, the Netherlands on loan from Los Blancos, and then England with Arsenal. He also got a Champions League Road to the Finals card, which would be upgraded based on Arsenal's progression. He won a total of 3 of 5 upgrades after the North Londoners reached the semi-finals. Finally, he got a Shapeshifters, where players are given a different position, this card imagining the Norwegian as a winger. This shows that FC recognises he is a player with big name potential that they can flog packs by cramming into promos. He'll still be a walkout, but he'll pay the price for an off-colour season by losing his spot as Arsenal's top player to Bukayo Saka. Aston Villa, Donyell Marlon, 83 to 80. A few Villa players will get a bump down despite a generally positive season, including Leon Bailey, Axel Disasi, and Courtney House. However, I'm going with Donyell Marlon, who traditionally was an 80 at best, but got an 82 following a great season for Dortmund in FC24, and was then bumped up to 83 after an even better season for BVB as they got to the Champions League final. With just 5 goals and 1 assist this season as he meandered between the starting 11 and the bench, Marlon was already looking like he would struggle to keep up his numbers from the last 2 years when Aston Villa signed him during the winter. The Dutchman was cup-tied for the Bromside Champions League run to the quarter-finals, but managed just 3 starts for them in all competitions. He also saw his time with the Netherlands stay limited. 83 is considered a rating where you're a serious player, the rating where every card starts being rare. Marlon received a Centurions card for reaching 100 appearances for Dortmund and 100 career goals in the season before the one just gone, and a fantasy card for the game at home to Chelsea, and the ones away to Palace, Brentford and Brighton, with upgrades based on his stats in the games, like in fantasy football. He got one for the goal against Brighton, one for the wins against Chelsea and Brentford, and avoiding cards, though Villa failed to score 10 goals or win the league or cup. The devs like Marlon because of his speed, making him a sought-after player for FC fans, but I think his rating will suffer because of his limited game time. 83s don't sit on the bench, especially not for Aston Villa. Bournemouth, Luis Sinisterra, 77 to 75. Bournemouth had a great season and slim pickings to choose from, but I think Luis Sinisterra gets another downgrade. The Colombian has been on the game since FIFA 18 as a bronze playing in his homeland, while he became a silver and then a gold at Feyenoord before moving to Leeds. His last season at Feyenoord, where he scored 23 goals en route to winning the Europa Conference League, earned him an 80 for FIFA 23, but he did not particularly impress in the Prem and dropped to a 78 as the Whites were relegated. He was then loaned to Bournemouth for the next season, which was upgraded to a permanent in winter, and again flattered to deceive, earning another drop to a 77. The season just gone, he started the first game of the season, but when Evan Nilsson came in, the arithmetic no longer favoured him, and he started again just once all season in the Carabao Cup. He missed 17 games with a hamstring injury and 10 more with thigh problems, and this also got in the way of any meaningful time with Colombia too. Things have never looked great for Sinisterra since coming for England, and that player who won the Conference League's Young Player of the Season suddenly looks to have stayed in the Netherlands, with the version the Premier League got a shadow of his former self. He's lucky to stay a gold card, but maybe the fact he missed most of the season through injury will save him. Brentford, Ethan Pinnock, 79 to 77. Brentford were mostly good this year and not many will get downgrades. Ben Mee would have been my choice, but he left West London, so I've gone with another centre-back, Ethan Pinnock. Pinnock has been on the game since FIFA 18, where he went from non-league Forest Green to Barnsley, and was a regular starter for Brentford as they climbed from the Championship to the Premier League, with the Jamaican seeing his rating go up as his club did. 79 has been his highest rating, earned in both FC24 and FC25, due to a second and third season of regular Premier League football. He began this season as a starter too, but missed 8 games around the turn of the year with a hamstring injury. Although he returned to his starting place at first, by April he had lost his starting spot to Sepp van den Berg and was benched by the Dutchman for the last 8 games of the season, never coming on. He does remain a regular starter for Jamaica, playing every minute in their Gold Cup exit in the group stage. Pinnock received a special card this year as a grassroots great, celebrating those who made it big from very low levels. Pinnock started in the 8th tier with Dulwich Hamlet, before seeing them promoted, going to the 5th with Forest Green, being a squad player with Championship Barnsley, being a regular starter in League One after relegation, and then going to Brentford, where he went from the Championship to the Premier League, keeping his spot. Until now, the devs will have noticed the fact he's been dropped, and rotting away on the bench is the main way to see your rating go down. He still played enough to keep his gold card, but expects a rating dip. Brighton, Mats FIFA, 80 to 78. Brighton had an interesting season, and I think a few can expect drops, including Lewis Dunk, Tariq Lamptey, and Jason Steele. However, I've gone with Mats FIFA. FIFA was added to the game in FIFA 23 when he joined Feyenoord, and got a huge upgrade from 65 to 76 after his first season in the Eredivisie, when Feyenoord were champions. They lost out the next season, but still won the cup, and FIFA was again bumped to 80, and he also joined Brighton. The midfielder was almost certainly a big part of Fabian Hürzeler's plans, starting the season opener, but after an injury ruled him out to the next 4 games, he came back to see a starting spot at a premium, with Jack Hinchelwood often preferred. Just 4 more starts came before a leg injury cost him 9 more games, and he returned to find himself playing even less minutes than before. Weirdly, he did play the last 6 games, basically from start to finish, but as a right back, because Hürzeler wanted to move Hinchelwood into midfield. Finishing the season doing cover shifts at fullback for a 20-year-old is surely not what was expected of the €30 million midfielder, and his time with the Netherlands has suffered too throughout the season. I think it will be very tough for him to retain an 80, but he should still have a gold card. Burnley, Marcus Edwards, 79 to 77. Despite going up, there are actually a few players that I think will get downgrades for Burnley. Mike Trezor and Nathan Redmond will be here, but I'll go for Marcus Edwards, who I do think will stay their highest rated player. Of course, not including any incoming transfers, such as Kyle Walker, who is lucky to have that technicality to dodge this list. Edwards has been on the game since FIFA 17 after playing some pre-season games for Spurs, and then got upgraded to a silver after some token competitive minutes. He was later sold to Vitória de Guimarães, and after his first year in Portugal got a goal in FIFA 21, and he peaked with an 80 in FC24 after his transfer to Sporting. Even though Ruben Amorim's side won the league that season, he got less playing time and a downgrade to 79. This season, he made just 4 starts for Sporting, including just 1 in the league, with extremely limited time before being loaned to Burnley halfway through the season. After a few games as a sub, he started every game but 2 from March on, helping the Clarets get promoted. They have now signed him on a permanent. That's very nice, but he wasn't a standout in their squad, and his half a season in the wilderness, followed by being sent to a second-tier side, is surely grounds for another downgrade, albeit not a huge one. Chelsea, Raheem Sterling, 81 to 78. It feels like cheating, but ultimately Raheem Sterling was always on Chelsea's books, and it just so happened he was on loan at Arsenal. He remains a Chelsea player at the time of recording, and so he counts. Sterling has been on the game since FIFA 13 and went up the ratings through his time at Liverpool and then Manchester City, peaking with the truly world-class rating of 88 in FIFA 20, FIFA 21 and FIFA 22. However, his last season saw a move to Chelsea and a downgrade to 86 for FIFA 23. Things didn't go very well at all for Sterling in West London, and he was reduced to an 83 in FC24 and then an 81 in FC25. New Blues boss Enzo Maresca voiced his opinion that Sterling was not in his plans and loaned him off to Arsenal. Sterling, who just 3 seasons earlier was on the game as an 88, the same as Luis Suarez, Toni Kroos, Sergio Ramos and Erling Haaland, made just 13 starts all season and scored just 1 goal, an amount he hadn't dipped as low to since 2011-12, when he played just 3 games for Liverpool and was literally still a child. The goal he did score was against Bolton in the Carabao Cup. He did actually receive a promo card as a total rush player, meant to tie in with the new five-a-side rush mode, as he is apparently someone suited well to five-a-side football. It sucks to see a bona fide England legend ageing so ungracefully, and you have to imagine he will have to leave Chelsea again soon, whether on loan or as a permanent. He only gets a rating this high because EA are normally a bit more generous with aging players, seeing them retain gold status for a while. Crystal Palace, Daichi Kamada, 81 to 77. Odson Edouard is lucky to miss out following a rubbish loan to Leicester, but Daichi Kamada is the only option to this list. Kamada has had a card since FIFA 17 when he was playing in his native Japan, before moving to Eintracht Frankfurt. Regular appearances in the Bundesliga meant a gold card, and after his last season there, he received his highest rating of 81 for FC24 after netting 16 goals. He kept that rating for FC25 after one season at Lazio, where he left because of a contract dispute with the Roman side. He rejoined his old manager Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace, but to put a long story short, it hasn't worked. He was a rotation player at the start of the season, but in November, with his side 1-0 down at home to Fulham and chasing the game, he put in a horror challenge on Kenny Tete to earn a straight red, killing their momentum in an instant as they went down 2-0. After a suspension, Kamada found starts very hard to come by, with just 8 in the Premier League, and it didn't help that he was played as a 6, an 8 and a 10 in Palace's system, with him unable to settle down in one position. He ended the league with no goals or assists in the league, but he did net 2 in the Carabao Cup, with 3 assists in the Cups. He started both the semi-final and final of Palace's victorious FA Cup campaign, and also saw his playing time at Japan massively go up. However, that's not enough to save him from inclusion on this list, as there's no way an 81 can be justified. It put him as Palace's joint best player with Eberechi Eze and Mark Gay, but as well as those two, I think Dean Henderson, Maxence Lacroix, Daniel Munoz, Adam Wharton, Tyrick Mitchell, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Ben Chilwell and Sheikh Doucouré will all be on higher ratings than him next season, with Ismail Assar matching him to make a full 11. Eze is linked with Arsenal and Gay with Newcastle and Liverpool, while Kamada is linked with absolutely no one. It'll be a huge shock if his rating is the same as the England duo next season. Everton, Beto, 77 to 76. Dominic Calvert-Lewin leaving has taken the best option I could, and I think most Everton players won't be receiving a downgrade following their stabilisation under David Moyes. However, Michael Keane, Seamus Coleman and Jack Harrison should get a small bump down. I went with Beto because he started on the highest rating. Beto grew up in Portugal and after scoring 11 goals for Portimonense, received a card in FIFA 22. After a loan to Udinese, he got a goal in FIFA 23 for scoring 13. That was made a permanent, and he netted another 10 before moving to Everton, earning an 81 for FC24. Just 6 goals the next campaign meant a big drop to 77, and despite 10 this season, I still think he'll get a downgrade because of his playing time. Beto made just 3 starts for the Toffees before the turn of the year, with 2 in the Carabao Cup. He finally got a starting place in for Calvert-Lewin in January and reached double figures, never giving up his starting spot. He also made his first appearances for Guinea-Bissau, scoring his first goal as well, but this was due to a switch of allegiance from Portugal rather than performance-related. Beto's done well this season, but he was never an 81, and his downgrade will be because of a return to the mean, as well as very limited minutes in the first half of the season. Fulham, Bernd Leno, 82 to 81. Like Everton, the departure of a misfiring striker, in this case Carlos Vinicius, gets rid of the only good option. I expect small drops for Joachim Anderson, Andreas Pereira, Timothy Castagna, Issa Diop and Tom Kearney, but went with Leno because he started with the highest rating. Leno has been on the game since FIFA 12 and got a gold card in FIFA 13 after a season as first-choice goalie for Bayer Leverkusen. Leno's base card reached a high of 86 in FIFA 17 after his fifth season at Bayer. He then went to 85 in FIFA 18 and down to 84 in FIFA 19 after his last year in Germany before moving to Arsenal. After getting back up to 85, he went down to 83 in FIFA 22. And after being dropped for Aaron Ramsdale and sold to Fulham, he went down to an 80 in FIFA 23, his worst rating since FIFA 14. Despite going up to 81 in FC24 and 82 in FC25 as Fulham's number 1, 82 is quite a hard rating to maintain. He did play every league minute for Fulham, but he also lost his place in the Germany squad. To be honest, there are no good options here, but I see him losing his place as Fulham's top player to Anthony Robinson. Leeds. Patrick Bamford, 74 to 71. There's a couple of choices at Leeds despite them winning the championship, but none stand out more than Patrick Bamford. Bamford has been on the game since FIFA 13 after making his debut for Nottingham Forest and being snapped up by Chelsea. Loans at MK Dons and Derby earned him a silver by FIFA 15, and he was then loaned out to Middlesbrough, Palace, Norwich and Burnley before Middlesbrough bought him again. After a good season for Borough, he went to Leeds in 2018 and was a key player, scoring 16 as they got promoted in 2020. He then scored 17 in the Premier League, earning him a 78 rated gold card in FIFA 22, his 10th FIFA. Bamford had a horribly injured hit season after that and kept his 78 for FIFA 23, but after returning to action and netting just 6 goals the next year as Leeds went down, was demoted to a 75 for FC24. With Leeds now in the Championship, he was still out of favour in the 23-24 season and lost his gold status, going down to a 74 for FC24. The season just gone was even worse, with him starting one game in the Carabao Cup in the entirety of the season. He had extremely limited minutes apart from that, missing January to March with a hamstring injury and not scoring once. The last time he failed to score in a season was 15-16, where he had hardly any chances in loans to Palace and Norwich. He did get one promo in the form of a Squad Foundations card, where a set of players from the same league, in this case the Championship, get competitive cards in order to provide the core of a squad. Bamford's career is interesting because there was a lot of hype about him. He scored 17 in a Premier League season, putting him fourth behind Bruno Fernandes, Mohamed Salah and Harry Kane, and level with Son Heung-min, got an England cap, and then got injured and suddenly found himself 31 and surplus to requirements as a Championship side. If you can't get into a side in the Championship, your card is getting downgraded, and I think 71 is what he lands on. Liverpool, Andy Robertson, 85 to 82. A Liverpool legend, despite them winning the league, Robertson had a challenging season. Robertson has been on the game since FIFA 14, after he transferred from the Scottish lower leagues to top-flight side Dundee United. After one season where he was brilliant in the Scottish Prem, he got a silver card and went to Hull, where he had regular game time as the Tigers went down. After being a big part of the squad who went up via the playoffs, he earned a gold card and spent another season in the Premier League. When Hull went down once more, he went to Liverpool. An injury to Alberto Moreno meant he got his first team opportunity in 17-18 and was brilliant in the 18-19 season, with 11 league assists as they won the Champions League, after which he became a first-team regular for a Liverpool side that won every top-rate trophy under Jurgen Klopp. His card peaked at an 87 in FIFA 21, 22, 23, but went down to 86 in FC24 and then again to 85 in FC25 following an injury-hit season. Though he was still the main starter for Liverpool as they won the Premier League this time, he was often rotated or subbed out for Kostas Tsimikas, and though Arne Slot's reason was that he missed pre-season, it does feel that the 31-year-old's body is slowing down and he is not the player he once was. He still is among the first names on the team sheet for Scotland and also got a flashback moments card for his strong start to the 23-24 season. It feels sad to see a legend get such a mediocre rating, but the current version of Robertson is no different to any other European-level left-back, and it does feel like the signing of Milos Kerkez is basically a replacement for the Scot. Manchester City. Bernardo Silva, 88 to 85. A lot of City players could be here, including Jack Grealish, but I think Silva will take it because he started so high. After being loaned from Benfica to Monaco, which was turned into a permanent after half a season, he instantly got a gold card in FIFA 16 following 10 goals in Ligue 1. 2 more seasons there, including the latter where he scored 11 en route to the title, saw him get a move to City and an 84. The City side were the dominant force in English football for years, and Silva is a 6-time Premier League champion. As they won 4 on the trot, Silva got used to an 88, his highest rating, that he had in FIFA 23, FC24 and FC25. However, City had a much more difficult season as their crown fell, and Silva saw his direct goal involvements halved. 11 goals and 11 assists became 6 and 5. He did keep his place in the Portugal team, starting both the semi and final as they won the Nations League. He also got 2 promos, a winter wild card, which was a Christmas-themed promo where players would get random boosts or changes to their card, and a card for winning the Nations League. However, his performance dips like the rest of his teams, and he will suffer as a result, losing walkout status, no longer having the same rating as the likes of Robert Lewandowski and Lionel Messi. Manchester United, Casemiro, 84 to 81. A few United players are getting a drop here, but there is a second successive big fall coming to Casemiro. Casemiro was added to the game in FIFA 13 for Sao Paulo and spent half a season on loan at Real Madrid before it was made permanent, earning a gold card with performances in the second tier to the B team and rare minutes for the first team. After a season getting irregular minutes at Real, he spent a season on loan at Porto before returning to the capital. The next season, he broke into the first team as Real won their Champions League, the first of 3 in a row, after which he became an 88 for FIFA 19. After a La Liga title, he got his peak rating of 89, one of the best in the world for FIFA 21, which he maintained for FIFA 22 and FIFA 23 after winning another Champions League and heading off at Man United. His time in the Northwest has been seen as a disaster, although his first season was actually quite good and he kept his 89 rating for FC24. He really slowed down in 23-24, however, and got a huge downgrade to 84, but the worst was yet to come. In the third game of the season, they found themselves 3-0 down at home to Liverpool at half-time, and he was replaced by Toby Collier, who I named as my prediction for the biggest United upgrade in FC26, after making 2 errors leading to goals. Pundit Jamie Carragher's quote of "leave the football before the football leaves you" about Casemiro became a huge meme, transcending the sport, and after that he became a rotation player, playing regularly in the Europa League but not the Prem, especially after Ruben Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag in the dugout. He has also barely featured for Brazil, only returning to the squad in June. Casemiro did receive a special card, but it was a flashback to the 16-17 season, where he won a League and Champions League double with Real Madrid. A player who had the same rating as Sergio Aguero, Karim Benzema and Manuel Neuer in FIFA 21 has massively fallen off to the extent he is simply considered a good Premier League player in this rating, and a lot of that is generous because of his history in the sport. Newcastle, Mark Gillespie, 65 to 62. Another option here was fellow old goalie being kept around for some reason in John Roddy, but Roddy is technically a free agent with contract discussions ongoing, while Gillespie has officially renewed with the Magpies. Gillespie has been on the game since FIFA 13, but never had a gold card or any special card, with his first at 51 before he broke into the Carlisle first team in League One and went up the ranks. He moved to Walsall and then Motherwell, and a season as a regular in Scotland's top flight earned him a silver card in FIFA 20, and after another year he went to Newcastle, getting a 71 card in FIFA 21, his best rating. He played 3 times in the League Cup the next season, but that was it, and 3 more seasons with 0 appearances has led to his rating slowly sliding down, reaching 65. Unfortunately for Gillespie, not only did he not play last season, he didn't even make the bench, meaning his existence as a footballer feels like a technicality, and he might not even get a card next season, although he has renewed his contract, so I'm counting him here. If it does, it will be a bronze, and most people who aren't fans of the 4 clubs he's represented will have never heard of him. Nottingham Forest, Willy Bolly, 77 to 75. Alex Moreno would be an option here if he wasn't on loan at Aston Villa, but Willy Bolly will probably see his rating slashed. Bolly first got a card in FIFA 12 after breaking through the Auxerre Academy, and after transferring to Braga got a gold card in FIFA 17 after making regular appearances during his second season. He went to Porto, but limited time with the Dragons, saw a season-long loan to Wolves as they got promoted, and then a permanent deal in the Black Country. He was a regular player the next season, and despite injuries, peaked with a card of 80 in FIFA 21. Another season with limited playing time saw a transfer to Forest, and after limited time in his first season there, he got a 76 in FC24. He got more game time and a 77 in FC25, but has been a basically overlooked option this season, with just 9 appearances in all competitions, and he has also lost his place in the Cote d'Ivoire squad. I wouldn't be surprised to see him become a silver, because I think he is just still a gold level player. Sunderland, Adil Awachich, 69 to 68. Not much negative movement for Sunderland after they got promoted, with the dramatic changes coming in the other direction. Salis Abdul Samed would have been an option, but he was only in the northeast on loan, while Abdullah Bar also might get a small downgrade. A PSG Academy graduate, Alchiche first received a card in FIFA 21 after some limited game time in the French capital, and a transfer to Saint Etienne. After a good first season, he peaked at 74 in FIFA 22, the highest you could get without being a gold, but he has spent the next 4 seasons getting downgrades. They got relegated in 21-22 and he went to Lorient, but after limited minutes he went to Sunderland in the Championship. He played fairly regularly in the 23-24 season, but second-tier football meant he was still downgraded from 70 to 69 for FC25. After just 10 appearances in the first half of the season just gone, he was loaned to Portsmouth, where he was a rotation player, often making the first 11 but being subbed off after half-time. Just 22 appearances last season means he'll get another snip to his rating, and he won't join the Sunderland squad in the Prem, having already been loaned to Aberdeen. Spurs, Richarlison. Sergio Reguilon is a contender here, and Timo Werner would be on the list if he wasn't only on loan in North London. Richarlison was added to the game as a silver card in FIFA 18 after moving to Watford, but after a full season in the Prem got a transfer to Everton and a gold card in FIFA 19. He saw double digits every season, peaking with an 82 rating in FIFA 22 after a 13-goal season, and 1 season later he moved to Spurs. Just 3 goals the next season saw a drop to 80 for FC24, but he got double digits again in 23-24, earning an 81 in FC25. Richarlison started the season on the bench before missing 8 games with an injury early on, and then soon after coming back, missing 16 more with a hamstring issue. He didn't last long before a calf problem held him back even more, and in total he started just 11 games all season, although this includes both legs of the Europa League semi-final and the Europa League final, which Spurs won. It does bear noting that he was subbed off in all 3 of those games and completed 90 minutes once with 5 goals and 2 assists this season. His injuries also made him miss every Brazil fixture, bar the latest 2. He did get 2 promo cards, a moments card as a reward for winning enough games in the FUT Champions mode, and, like all Spurs players, a fully upgraded Road to the Finals card for winning the Europa League. Injuries will save him a bit, but he's still getting a downgrade. West Ham, Guido Rodriguez, 83 to 78. A massive downgrade for a few West Ham players, but Guido Rodriguez will take the biggest one out of anybody in this video. Rodriguez has been on the game since FIFA 16 after limited appearances for River Plate. After a loan to Defensa y Justicia and more regular appearances, he got a silver in FIFA 17, and then moved to Tijuana, where he played week in, week out for a season before moving to America. After a season at the Eagles, where he played regularly, he got a gold card in FIFA 19, and halfway through the 3rd season, he moved to Real Betis. After 3.5 seasons in Seville, he got his peak rating of 83, which he maintained after his last season, where he moved to West Ham. However, despite starting the first 11 league games for the Irons, he was soon dropped. A lot of big money signings were made by West Ham, but the ageing Rodriguez struggled to fit in and didn't look fully up to speed in the Premier League. He has also lost his spot in the Argentina squad. 83 is a really strong rating, where players could start in a top squad. Ibrahima Kanate got that rank this year. Someone who can't even start for a lower league Prem team does not warrant that rating, and so he deserves a big downgrade. Wolves, Jose Sarr, 79 to 77. A lot of Wolves players are getting debuffs in FC26, with Hwang Hee-chan, Sam Johnston, Gonzalo Gedge and Sasha Kalajdzic all expecting drops. I think Craig Dawson might get the biggest of all, but he's out of contract at Wolves, so I'll go for Jose Sarr because he started with a high rating. Sarr was added to the game in FIFA 15 when he was still playing in the Portuguese second tier for Marítimo's B team, but managed to get a gold card in FIFA 16 following a great performance in the Euro Under-21s. 6 months later, he went to Porto, where his time was limited until his 3rd season, when he got more games. He finally got regular game time after a 2018 move to Olympiacos, and 3 seasons there were followed by a move to Wolves. In Sarr's first season at Molineux, he was brilliant, earning the Player of the Season award and an 81 card in FIFA 23. He continues to be Wolves' regular number 1, but couldn't maintain that level of performance and was downgraded to 79 in FC24 and FC25. This season, Sam Johnston was signed to compete with Sarr and briefly replaced him early on before Sarr regained his place at number 1. Apart from it in October, Sarr did retain his place as a backup goalie for Portugal and got 1 cap, down from 2 last term. Wolves have struggled and most of their players will probably see their rating go down 1 or 2 points, and Sarr is no exception. That's it then, and not quite as dramatic shifts as the upgrades video. While youngsters normally get big boosts, oldies are generally allowed to fall a bit more gracefully. West Ham's Guido Rodriguez is dropping the most with 5 after a really bad debut season in East London, while Everton, Fulham and Sunderland are only seeing drops of 1. This isn't a FIFA channel, but I think this is an interesting thing to do as we wait for the new season. I won't ramble on at the end of the video this time, but I hope you all enjoyed.